we have this new compensation that we're all excited to see. So with that said, we're going to talk a little bit tonight about retention and objection. Two different topics, but I think they're very important to discuss. But before we do that, we're going to talk about Team Win and all of the recognition that happened. It was a pretty big week, I will say, and it's so fun to be able to read these names that I got to be a part of this run. So let's start with Dawn Hartwick, director. And I haven't had time to shout out that she also got her second 5-cycle bonus, guys. So I made a graphic on that, and then my day's been crazy, but let's just celebrate her big. She and Amanda are going to New York to celebrate anyway, but now they have a lot to celebrate. Amanda's on her team. She's amazing. She's just bringing so many great people. Just so you guys know, Dawn was on stage with Zija in 2011. She's one of the top leaders. And then with the changes, she just became a customer. And we met at a coffee so this is where you just never know where you're going to meet somebody. And that's another important part. Like, we met at a coffee, Ann and I were there. Emily Cragen, who's enrolled to me, is just a beautiful soul. She did a collagen and coffee. Dawn came, we were talking. She goes, oh, yes, I use the products, but no, I don't do that anymore. And I'm like, well, let's see if we can get you going. So we checked compliance and histories in its making. So you just never know. Every event you go to, whether you have one person or 30 people, one diamond in the rough, this beautiful Dawn that's now permanently in my life. And I'm just so blessed. Managers, Patty Scott and Pam Ellis. Congratulations. And so many consultants. Tori Treat, which is Pam Ellis's daughter-in-law. She's got 2 salons, one in Florida, one in here. Then we have Linda Gibbs and Joyce Kelly, who's Dawn's mom. And then we have Brett Scott, who I'm sure is related to Patty. So it's a big party family affair of all this. So I just want to talk about the top enrollers. Jack Callagher, are you on here? 7 enrollments? Go girl. 7 enrollments, guys, in 1 week. Ann and Jim White, 4 enrollments, and Tinley, 3. Woo, woo. Way to go. I know that because Jessica had this, last minute change, that we were going to talk about the value pact opportunity. So that is still going to happen. It's not going to happen tonight because I don't have the information. So for anybody on here, I know Teese Abbott had a big enrollment for a 30-day system, and she would be qualifying it. I'm so proud of you, Teese. I don't know who else on here. I just happen to have insider trading information on that. So just know that we'll take that contest out a week, and thank you for your patience on that. Okay, so moving, Carrie Chisholm, who Julie Westall enrolled, she created a consultant. Carrie, I hope you're on this call. Congratulations. So a lot going on recognition between the 5K, the Costa Crushers, all the enrollments. And now we're going to move on to talking about our pages. So we have Dreamers in Action, and we have Team Win on this call. And all of us have these incredible pages. And we just wanted to give a little bit of attention to this because, we all work so hard, and yet we have something, this huge gift that's waiting for all of us. And this is the value that each and every one of you have been adding to these pages. And it's sometimes sad when I see this great post and there's like one comment. So before we're finished, Kim and I are going to talk a little bit about this, but we're going to also do our work session tonight in these pages. So I wanted just to kind of review our pages and Dreamers in Action pages. So in Team Win, we have our Builders page, which is only for, and I know you veterans know this, but our Builders page is really only for people that converted to an associate that are looking to create income. And I know Dreamers in Action also have a builders page. And I'm trying to find those notes, but you know, that's how my life is. Then we have Team Win Wellness, and that is for products. And I know that Dreamers in Action, you know what your product page is called. So this is extremely important for retention. And Kim's going to share a little bit because she's an administrator of that page of some feedback. But what I will say from the feedback when I went through all the pages today, this is incredible. And so many times we get so excited when we get an enrollment that we forget to do the follow-up and then get them invited. And I send the link, you might send the link, but guess what? Kim is telling us that she doesn't see that many people asking to join. So even if you send your customer the link, they might forget and get sidetracked. So one of the calls to action will be to go in and see if you can tag a couple of your people that you invited and see if they actually are. It'll let you know. If you can't tag them, it says there won't be a member. So we'll get to some call to actions on that. Then we have our VIP collagen page, which both teams have that. And that is for prospects and associates. So it can be a prospect. The wellness page for Team Win is only if they've joined, okay? So it's not a prospect page. The Team Win testimonial page is for prospects and customers. So it's really important because sometimes they don't get approved because they're inviting the wrong person to the wrong page. So if you have any questions on this, we're not going to talk about it tonight, but I would like you to message me or message whoever enrolled you, anybody, so we can help you understand. Now, I know there's a lot of us that do side pages. And so that is something I talked about a little bit today in Team Win. It's called Shred. It's like for people doing 30 days. So just keep in mind, the main Team Win pages are most important. Some of the sideline pages, we include you in for the Shred 30 day, like a lot of us are doing 30 days. It's a really exciting page to get somebody who's just starting for the first time. The wellness page is consistent. Kim Malstrom has added so much value. Ann White's added so much value. A lot of our team. So like I have consultants I've had for 5 years. Some of you might have had for 10 years that are still on that page. And the reason is that they're still a consultant is because they're on that page and they keep seeing all the new things. And the more they see that, the more they're going to want to try the new products. We have 72 products. So just remember that. So Kim, can you share a little bit about what you've noticed about the testimonial page, the good, the bad, the ugly?
Sure. So quick question. How many people were on the call last week that Jennifer Trickner was on? It was and you have to excuse it. The Phillies are playing, so you're going to hear lots of screaming in the background. My boys are watching right now. But one thing that she mentioned that she did with her team, which I love, and it's kind of how we started. Team Win, as you know, started with Jessica, and I know Lauren started around the same time. So we're looking at 9 or 10 years of information in testimonials page and the wellness page. But one thing that Jennifer Trinkner mentioned, which I just think we as all leaders should be doing, is in our team pages to add value. So every one of us, if you're using the nutrition, or Holly and I both had an adaptogen before this meeting because we jumped in an hour ago to take and talk to all of you, but adding some value. So you might have a recipe for the wellness page. So recipes don't belong in a testimonials page because that's where we want to hear your story. So I know Teresa has added her story and Holly has added her story. I've added my story. We would love to hear your story, and it doesn't have to be your end story. So maybe in the testimonials, you're saying, hey, I just got my box. I'm getting started. I'm so excited. I've been feeling X, Y, and Z, and I'm 3 days in and I'm already feeling this way. So it, doesn't have to be the perfect story. Even some of my testimonials, it's been a crazy year. So I'm not where I was. I'm thinking that Somebody just caught a ball or something. I don't know if you can hear that in the background, so I apologize. But anyway, we're looking for you to add value to the pages too. And maybe you just started and you're like, I don't know enough. I bet you probably have Googled healthy snack or snacks with fiber. Lots of us have to add fiber into our diet. So maybe in the wellness page, you're adding a post about that. But what we like for everybody to do is to think maybe each day or 3 times a week is add something of value. Lots of people post in there, but you're going to look, if you look recently, not a lot of people are commenting. So each day, maybe go through and post a comment on 3 of your favorites. So maybe somebody posted snacks and you can say, oh my gosh, I love to have almonds as a snack, or I've been eating apple and peanut butter, just so that keeps, every time you post in there and you comment, the people you've added into the page are going to see that more often. If you're not posting or commenting in any of the pages and you haven't added your people into the pages, they're not getting support. So these pages are really meant to help support you, support your people, get them feeling like they're involved in a community. One of the best things about Anne, Holly, Erica's 30-day shred page is that they're adding value. The people that they're tagging their people in a post and saying, hey, this is what we do on day 1. Did you see this? We'd love to have all of you, whether you're on Dreamers or in Team Win, to add value to the pages and to also comment. So one of the things that we're going to do, so Holly went over them, and I'm sure some of you who are new are, if it's confusing, put a 1 in the comments. If this makes sense, put a 2, just so we can get a feel. But we have 4 pages for Team Win. We have the collagen page, which is our VIP collagen page. That is for people who are looking at the collagen and are who using the collagen. We have a testimonials page. This is our nutrition. What are you experiencing? That's what we want to see. Doesn't have to be a side-by-side picture. It could just be a picture of you today. Or maybe it's a picture of like, hey, I have this inflammation. I started to help inflammation or gut health, just to have something that's going in there to add value. Use those posts to tag your people in. If you see that it pops up and it says a little circle with a line, it means they're not in the post, in the page. Make sure they're in the pages as well. So you have to invite them. So I know when I've signed up someone for nutrition and they're getting their value pack or their 30-day system coming or their 7-day system, I make sure my welcome that I give them the link for the wellness page so that they can add themselves. And then check. You can always go in to see who's in the page and just do a search and see if your person got into the page. If not, just remind them. Because what it's doing is it's going to give them support for their system, and they're going to see maybe the Adaptogen Elixir post pop up and they're like, oh, I don't have that in my box. What is it? Because we want to make sure we're really supporting people. So we're going to take 5 minutes right now. And let's say you've had an amazing transformation or you're feeling really good. Pop that into your testimonials page or into the VIP page for the collagen. Maybe you're noticing something. If you've already put in your picture a bunch of times, I want you to go into the testimonials page, your collagen page, your wellness nutrition page, and pick 3 posts to comment on, just to boost those up. Maybe you have a better recipe that you like, and just add into some value into those pages. So we're going to, right now it's 9:20, 9:25, we're going to come back, but I just want you to take a minute to go into those pages, pump up 3 different posts. And if you have something to add value, maybe you made a great recipe, add that into your wellness page. Maybe you're taking the super mix for the first time. Just add some value and then comment on 3 things in your collagen page, testimonials page, and wellness. And if you're not in those, I will be here approving people to get into those pages as well. So let us know if you need those links to get into the pages. If you need a link, just shoot myself or Holly a message and we can send those. If you need a link for the Dreamers, I'm sure Laurie or Lauren can send you that link as well, since we have 2 teams going. Okay, we don't want to keep everybody all night. So what I try to do each day is, when I have my, things to do for my business, is to actually specifically go to each of our pages and try to comment on a couple of things every day. So if you start to put that into a habit, the more you're commenting, the more your people are going to see that you're commenting as well, because you really want to help to support them. And it's going to help with your retention, because they're going to continue to see things pop up and continue to want to try things as well. So excited about that. All right. Next, I have been so excited seeing Anne, seeing Holly's teams and other teams as they ran for Costa Rica. And so super excited for you both. Can't wait to celebrate you all. But I wanted to focus on Holly for right now, since we're here and we're doing this call together. Holly, your team, Ken and his Barbies, I just saw that, you created an executive, a director, managers, consultants during this 3-month run. And during that time, and when you're getting people to enroll, your enrollments are up, you're getting them to share and create all these consultants, managers, directors, executives, I'm sure you've heard a lot of objections. We all have them. And 6.5 years in, for those of you who don't know me, I watched Jessica for 3 years, a little longer, because I was one of those, I was home, I run a nonprofit, I have 4 kids, and I watched her as she was celebrating people and sharing the nutrition that she was using. But I never said a word. I never commented. I never liked anything. And 3 years in, my husband was laid off unexpectedly. And all of a sudden I was like, maybe I could do this. could I focus on my family and our nonprofit? And could I do this as a business? And so I picked up the phone and I called Jess and I said, okay, I'm looking for a business opportunity. I'm the rare person. Most people are looking because they're saying, Anne, Holly, you are absolutely glowing. I see you in the store. And what are you doing? Because they want to look better. They want to feel better. Maybe they want to move better. Maybe their joints are hurting. And they've been watching them share these things. But Holly, as you have, I'm sure one of the huge thing, and was one of my things that, my husband was on severance, is price. People say, oh my gosh, like I got to start this business, but it's going to cost me $600. I don't think I can afford that. And really Jess wanted me to sign up for a bigger bundle, the ultimate bundle. And I should have listened because it was a way cheaper way to go than the way I ended up doing it. But when you hear someone who says, I'm struggling, I can't do this, I can't afford it, but I really need to feel better, how do you answer that?
Well, sometimes I will bring up the cost before they bring up the objection in my presentation. So as I'm asking them questions, a lot of times I'll say, and the crazy part is you will end up saving money by choosing this. And when we're talking nutrition for this example, and I mean, we all know it's true. They are going to save money. We know it more than we did probably when you joined, Kim, because the prices in the grocery store are over the top. So you're always going to have times in life that you can use true situations to overcome objections. And as unpopular as that is to have the grocery fee so expensive, it is something that we talk about and we overcome that objection before we're even given it. I mean, we all get objections that we don't see coming sometimes, but we all know that people are, that's a common objection. So I just can't say enough about just breaking it down for them and asking a lot of questions. And so I always believe an objection is not an objection, it's a question. And I will share before we're done with the call that I did with Jessica today with Julie Westall and Aaron Anderson and a gym owner. And it was hilarious from where it started and how it ended. But so you got to be confident in your statue. You can't, like when they're like giving you body language that's not positive, you have to stay positive. And so in that particular situation, a lot of times when I'm talking nutrition, I break down that we have options from $20 to $10 a day, depending on what their goals are. We want to figure out the best plan for them for overall success. And then I also ask like what they're spending the money on, like meal wise, where do they have breakfast, where do they have lunch, where do they have dinner? I kind of get some information. And then many times I'll ask them like, what amount would your average Starbucks stop be? Or, when you make lunch at home, what do you think you spend it? And, and most people are always at least $8 to $12 a meal. So we can get the value pack, for less than that because they're getting 2 meals plus all the supplements, the vitamins and the greens. So I think it's just being confident and then knowing that you truly can save the money. For $3.75, they can get a perfectly macronutrient meal that has everything they need in it. Now I've done that sometimes, and let's just say they say, well, I just can't afford that number right now. I have said they said, I just want to order a couple shakes. I have personally said I would rather wait until you can get, because I want you to have complete. I said our shakes are awesome, but 1 or 2 shakes isn't really going to give you a true, you're not going to see what you're going to see in those testimonies. And I've done that and people have come back and ordered like within 2 weeks or budgeted it. So I know we always want it to be now, but just remember that we want that customer now, but we also want them in 3 months and we also want them in 3 years. And I know there's a lot of people on this who've been approached that said no and now said yes. And so timing is the other part. And so keeping that relationship, and as they say, the fortune is in the follow-up. Just because they said no doesn't mean it's a permanent no.
And I think really looking at it, even if you go through fast food or you go and grab a salad, you're going to be spending that. And I know traveling, like that $3.75 shake is going to make me feel a whole lot better. But I love that you said, let's wait until you can start, because the one shake a day is great nutrition, but it's not going to help them feel the same way. Because as you look at these nutrition packs, everything works synergistically together to give your body what it needs, and piecemealing it doesn't necessarily work. So I love that. But I too, ask them, what do they spend on those 2 meals a day? I think is a great question. And help them see that they're already spending that money, because it's really just reallocating our groceries. Another question that I know comes up a lot is people say, I don't want to be on a subscription, or the shipping's going to be too high. I don't want to have to pay shipping every month. How do you handle that?
So I normally don't get that objection at the beginning. And that's where I believe, like we were talking about the team testimonial page, like I said, you're going to get free shipping on this first order. And the advantage of subscription is $9.95 locked in, which is great. We also have an option like Prime does for a membership that you could, if you end up liking a lot of things and you want them and not want to worry about it, you could do the math. Is it $129? I believe I just renewed mine. So
that, yeah, and the ice delivery is the same as getting a year of the $9.95 a month.
Yeah. And I love it because sometimes you want to give somebody like a little gift. I can just drop it to their house. Let's say you've worked with somebody you really feel like this person could be that person, then I could maybe send them something to try, or reward somebody, or just as a thank you. My sleep spray is my favorite. I just shipped it, and it's like easy, go in and ship it and no shipping. So there's so many advantages to that. And then the price objection also that we, obviously want to discuss is that if we ask enough questions and peel back the onion, then we can share that, we can show them ways to get it paid for as well, or at least take a big chunk off of it. And so, the more time I have with somebody, if I feel like they're really interested, then that's when we start peeling back the onion and really getting to like, hey, well, you can casually share this and get your products paid for, or you could actually, have an incredible stream of income that, is $500 a month and way more, depending on, what you want.
I love that. And as we said with Ken and Barbie, you've been doing that between the consultants that you created and the managers, the director, and Joel, who's a person in the same house, is also just hit executive as well, which is awesome. So when someone says, oh, I'd like to share, but I need 30, I need to have my own transformation first. I can't share until I look like the picture that I saw on the testimonials page. How do you handle that? Because you have a lot of people who are hitting consultant pretty quickly after they order. So what are you saying to them?
I think it's all based on our personalities, because I was that person when I met Jessica and Erica in Maui 5.5 years ago. They're like, you're outgoing. And I literally just wanted to try the product. I had a weird feeling about MLMs and I just wasn't there. I was on vacation. We were busy. And I said, but you're somebody, if you like your leggings, you're going to share it, and you're going to tell people where you got them. They're going to go buy them. And I said, yes. I said, but it was still really important to me to like be able to try the products and make sure I literally liked them before I shared them. So I'm one of those people that probably didn't really start to grow. I mean, I might have become a consultant because Joel ordered and then a friend ordered, like very much at the beginning. But it helped that my husband was with me. So I had one with me, right, that was also interested. And then I think they probably did a good job saying, you just need one more and you're going to get this back. But it wasn't my mindset. So, but once I did get those products in my body and I did see what happened, and I was a little bit more open. And then when I did see that deposit hit my account, that was kind of exciting. You've been paid. However, I have also had success with people that will share fast. Like, I don't know if that's on this call, but she's a perfect example. I gave her an example. I said, if you want, because she was, kind of concerned about the overhead of the pack. And so she did it. And she was one who said she wanted to just do a couple shakes. And I said, well, I'd rather wait till January and start it and do it right. And then I said, but it's your birthday. We share the same birthday. So why would you put your health off until then? So she said yes. And then I said, what I would encourage you to do is, you have a lot of people that like you have a lot of followers, is I'll give you an example of a post. Hold up some jeans you want to get into, because it's that time of year, everyone's going to be wearing their denim again, and say, does anyone else like me want to get into their favorite jeans? And she did her own thing. Like I gave her an example. She did it, and she got, her 2 people right in the first. And so she didn't even have her box yet, and she already became a consultant. So you can have the same conversation with the same person, and just remember the fortunes in the follow-up, because again, even the people that said they wanted to wait, and I keep following up with them, that enrollment at 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days, or of them becoming an associate, is just as valuable as it would have been the day that they said yes. So again, if you see the big picture of being genuine and caring, you're going to tell them that they don't need to have their own testimony, because we have a testimonial page with 40,000 people on it. They have their stories. You don't have to have your own to share it. And I say that and I believe it, but I also know there's certain people that just, no matter what I say, they're going to do what they feel. And I need to know that they need to know that I'm listening to them, and I'm not like, shooing them off. So remember, we're all in this, and like Jack coming after 8 years of Jessica and Erica, messaging her for 8 years, the fortunes in the follow-up, and they were as happy to get Jack on their team 8 years later as they would have been day one. I mean, it's just, timing is everything.
I love that. I love it. So thank you so much for sharing, and congrats to your team and all the other teams that were running. So this Sunday, for those people who are on the East Coast, there is a Super Sunday that is coming up. So make sure you have your tickets for that, because it's also going to help us with building and overcoming objections and being able to share things as well. So homework as you go off the call and then the next week is try to get into the habit of every day just checking in on the pages, because lots of people are being vulnerable. They're sharing information. Give them some love and feel like you can add some value into those pages as well. It's not just for certain leaders to add, it's really for all of us, so that the more energy and excitement we have, and the more people commenting and giving tips and tricks that they're doing, the better it's going to be. But we're so excited that you're all here. Congrats to everybody who was announced in recognition. And Holly has one more thing to say.
Kim, thank you so much, because we did this, like I was on the call with Jessica, and I called Kim like 40 minutes ago. I got Jessica needs our help. So
yep, it's good. So anybody adaptogens is a good thing, because you get those stomach butterflies. It's amazing how that calms that down right away. So
I just want to reiterate what Kim was saying about the pages. What is amazing, guys, is starting today, there is financial benefit. So I'm just use my example. I enrolled Ann enrolled Tinley enrolled Shannon. So anytime Shannon orders again, Tinley orders again, Ann orders again, we get volume from 4 PET. And so the beauty of it is you work so hard to get the customer, and I've been guilty. I mean, I've enrolled a lot of people. I know Ann and I talk about this a lot. We roll, and then sometimes we're on to the next. And Isogenics is saying, hey guys, like, let's really hold the hand of the people that trusted you and said yes, and let's keep them. Let's not just see them go to a 0 in 2 months or 4 months. And these pages are the answer. They're going to see our culture. They're going to see the testimonies. And especially if you tag them. So like Kim said, call to action is make sure your teams are in the pages, that the right people, according to what we said. And then if you feel led to add a story of your own or somebody else's, please do. But if nothing else, tag your people on things you think they would like to see. And all the people that have been doing this for as long as me or longer that have zeros on, guess what I'm going to do this week? This has excited me. I'm going to go to my zeros and I'm going to tag them because they're on that page. And it's going to reiterate them like, oh, I did like that. I did feel really good. Why did I step away? So let's go get them, guys. Thanks for your time. God bless.
I love it. Thank you. And no, we have to approve you in the pages. So we want to see, keep me really busy and those in Dreamers really busy, adding people in, make sure your people are on the page. But have a great night, guys.
Night, night.